Hi, welcome to another product walkthrough video of RightsWATCH. Let us see how easy it is for any user to leverage the Global Protector capability in RightsWATCH to classify any file type according to corporate policy and corporately defined policy rules. Now, if I take, for example, this JPEG file here, and if I right click it, I can choose to apply an internal classification to this JPEG. Now what happens is, because there was a corporate defined policy rule being applied, the file will in fact be classified as secret and not as internal. So based on the file type, in this case, based on the fact that the file is a JPEG file, corporately defined policy rules can surpass user decisions in terms of what classification to be given to that file. Now I can right click the folder where all these files are, a CAD drawing, an Excel spreadsheet, etc., and choose to apply an internal classification to all the files in this folder, and there are a couple of different policy rules being applied here. What happens is that I can choose to acknowledge that policy rules are defined centrally. Some of these rules will allow me to accept or not. Some of these rules will not allow me to accept or not, because they will be mandatory. They will be enforced on the file in itself. Now you have a CAD drawing that is classified as confidential. You have a spreadsheet that is classified on secret. You have a Visio file classified as confidential, a PDF file classified as confidential, and an MP4 file classified as confidential. All of these based on content, context, and metadata aware policy rules that are defined centrally and then applied locally on any file type under the RightsWATCH implementation. If I double click the Excel spreadsheet, why was this classified as secret and not internal? Because actually RightsWATCH analyzed the content of the file, and because it bears secret information, it automatically classified it as secret. And of course it also adds the dynamic watermarking capabilities of RightsWATCH in it, so user information on the headers, on the footers, as a watermark, etc. Now, the MP4 file, it has RMS protection. The Microsoft sharing app is not able to render the file, so you can still open it with the appropriate application that you have installed on your computer to render MP4 files. Now, when you close it, it still remains a P file, which means it still remains the RMS protection. Now, what you can also do is declassify every single file. So in the case of this folder, let's make all of these files public. What you're doing is you're removing, better said, the classification and the protection from these files, and you have to acknowledge for forensic analysis and logging aspects that you're doing all this. You can do this for every single file besides or except the Excel and the JPEG. Why? Because you're not allowed as a user to overcome those policy rules for those two particular files. Now, what you can also do with the Global Protector is to copy and paste, let's take this PDF file into a OneDrive folder, or it could be a Dropbox, a Box, an iCloud, any type of web drive you can think of. And when you try to classify it as internal, again in this case, because it is being saved into a web-based drive, it automatically applies the secret classification into it, not because of the content but because of the file path where you're saving it. What you can also do is have the Global Protector command line being deployed anywhere in the network to automatically classify any file type based on a multitude of criteria. So let's drag and drop or copy and paste these three files into this folder. And because the sysadmin has applied the command line into this folder, they automatically become RightsWATCH classified and protected. This is particularly interesting for legacy data.